The same is happening in the scripture that we just heard, where the Sadducees, part of the religious elite in Jerusalem, those who do not believe in any sort of afterlife, they come to Jesus and they try to trap him with this question about identity and belonging. And really, it's this sort of weird question, right? They comment on this old Levitical teaching, which is always weird whenever people talk about, a biblical marriage, because the teaching in Leviticus says that if a man marries a woman and that man dies, his brother must marry the widow. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I don't think most of us follow that anymore. It's not as far as I've heard of, It's really weird to make your sister-in-law become your wife, but, maybe somebody out there. But this question they pose, they say, well, what if this man has 7 brothers and each successively dies and each brother successively marries this woman? Well, then who does she belong to in the afterlife? Jesus, of course, sees right through what they're trying to ask, because what they're trying to say is, listen, if this whole thing is real, then there's no way she could belong to any specific one in the afterlife, or does she belong to the first one? What they're trying to do is trap him in this weird paperwork loophole to say, hey, Jesus, this is so ridiculous, therefore there's no afterlife at all. Jesus, of course, being Jesus, sees right through this question. He takes this and he turns it completely on its head. He doesn't take the bait, and instead he responds by saying, she doesn't belong to anybody in the afterlife because we are all God's children. We all belong to God, right? That we don't belong to each other in the afterlife the way that we often tie each other to one another in this life. He's basically saying your worth, your identity, your belongings are not defined by who claims you, not defined by whose tribe you think you're a part of, not defined by what you do for work or what system you fit into, or who you were married to. You are defined by God first and foremost. Before any of us are Packers fans or Broncos fans, before any of us are Republicans or Democrats, before any of us are Coloradans or Californians or Minnesotans, before any of us are Americans, we are all children of God. That's our first identity, first and foremost, before anything else.